Hello, I'm Camelia and this is KiniNews. The Dewan Rakyat heated up today as a shouting match erupted between government lawmakers and the opposition. This came after Lim Guan brought up a racial issue from last year.
Kita menghargai Bersut minta.
A commotion erupted in the Dewan Rakyat today after Bagan MP Lim Guan raised the issue of racially sensitive language, including references to a past incident on a remark about slaughtering infidels. Earlier in his speech, Lim slammed the use of racist and extreme language and called on the authorities to take action over them.
Janganlah ada ucapan menghasut, menyalahkan kaum bukan Islam sebagai punca rasuah di Malaysia bila rasuah tidak mengenal warna kulit ataupun mengancam nak sembelih golongan bukan Islam semata-mata kerana lawan parti politik, bukannya agama Islam.
Lim's speech led to several MPs protesting his remarks with claims that the DAP leader was misleading the Dewan Rakyat. Bersatu MP Che Muhammad Zulkifli raised a point of order and said that Lim implied that Muslims were going to slaughter non-Muslims, which was false. He added that Lim was confused over the meaning of the remarks. Lim was referring to the speech by actor Zul Huzaimi last year. Zul has since apologized for his speech. However, he is being investigated by the police under Section 506, Section 505(c) of the Penal Code, and Sections 233 of the Communication and Multimedia Act 1998. The heated exchange between the lawmakers came not long after a reminder from Deputy Speaker Ramli Mohd Nor to behave while they are in the Dewan Rakyat. Deputy Speaker Ramli Mohd Nor has called on lawmakers to behave while they are in the Dewan Rakyat. He said this after the minister's question time in Parliament today. Ramli said he was shocked to find out how the public perceived the Dewan Rakyat after visiting a local eatery.
Semalam saya ke kedai mamak. Ini satu benda saya berlaku. Mereka mengenali saya yang berhormat macam mana zoo. Saya terkejut. Inilah impresi masyarakat di luar sana.
Ramli also reminded MPs that they are being broadcasted live and to always uphold their virtues and etiquette while in the Dewan Rakyat. He also called on them to pay attention to the person speaking and not hold small meetings when the session is ongoing. Lim Kit Siang has claimed that Muhyiddin is ignoring the king's wishes. He said this in response to Muhyiddin's warning to Anwar yesterday. DAP veteran Lim Kit Siang has accused former Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin of ignoring the wishes of the young Di-Pertuan Agong on not having another political turmoil during his reign. This was over Muhyiddin's warning to Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim in the Dewan Rakyat yesterday. Lim described Muhyiddin as the real power behind the opposition leader and said that he had made a declaration of war with his remarks. Lim claimed that Muhyiddin's speech made it clear that Perikatan Nasional wanted the upcoming 6 state elections to be a mini parliamentary election. According to Lim, if there was an overwhelming PN victory, it would be used as the basis for another Sheraton-move political conspiracy to topple Anwar as the 10th Prime Minister. He added that Muhyiddin wants the young Di-Pertuan Agong to work with 5 prime ministers in 5 years, from 2019 to 2024, but the decision will be in the hands of the voters in the 6 states, not in Muhyiddin's hands. Yesterday, Muhyiddin had warned Anwar not to assume that he would remain in office forever. He claimed that Anwar was attempting to defame him, as well as PN, ahead of the 6 state elections expected this year. However, the PN chairperson said he is convinced that his coalition will continue to make waves in the state polls. A Luxembourg court has issued a fresh order to seize 2 units of national oil firm Petronas.
A Luxembourg court has issued fresh seizure orders for 2 units of oil firm Petronas this week. According to Reuters, this comes following a bid by descendants of a former sultanate to enforce a 14 $5.9 billion award they had won against Malaysia. The purported heirs of the Sulu Sultanate are seeking to enforce the award granted by them by a French arbitration court last year amid a long-running dispute with the Malaysian government over unpaid lease payments for Sabah. Last July, the Sulu claimants won an attachment order to seize Petronas Azerbaijan, Shah Deniz and Petronas South Caucasus, which are registered in Luxembourg. However, de facto Law Minister Azalina Othman Said revealed that the order had been set aside in January 2023. Reuters cited court documents shared by the heirs' lawyer, Paul Cohen, on the latest seizure order, which came on Tuesday. According to the court documents, Luxembourg court bailiffs issued a second seizure order on the units and related bank accounts. Cohen told Reuters that the Luxembourg Court District had indeed lifted the first seizure order on a minor issue that has been addressed, but had not made a judgment on the merits of the arbitration.
Bersatu believes that their experience in dealing with limited funds in the 14th general election will help the party face the upcoming 6 state polls. Bersatu will rely on lessons learned from GE14 to help the party face the upcoming 6 state elections. Bersatu Deputy Chairperson Ahmad Faizal Azumu said this in response to the freezing of the party's accounts by the MACC to facilitate investigations under the Anti-Money Laundering and Anti-Terrorism Financing Act. Faizal said Bersatu's accounts have been frozen for over a month and it has had an impact on the party, especially in paying the salary of their staff. He added that they couldn't do anything about it now and it has made it difficult for them to move effectively for the upcoming state polls. However, Faizal stressed that the experience from GE14 taught Bersatu many lessons on how to work with what they have, and with the momentum of the Rakyat support from GE15, it was not impossible for the party to win more seats, specifically in Selangor. In GE14, Bersatu was one of the parties in the Pakatan Harapan coalition, which formed the federal government. However, they later became one of the main players of the Sheraton move, which saw the downfall of the Harapan government. Bersatu teamed up with PAS and Gerakan in the Perikatan Nasional Coalition in GE15. Previously, it was reported that Bersatu's accounts were frozen over allegations that the party received contributions from 10 contractors who received various projects when the party was running the government. A former Warisan State Assembly person has responded to Shafi Abdal over claims that she was paid to leave the party. A former Warisan lawmaker has challenged Warisan President Shafi Abdal to report her to the MACC. Kunak Assemblyperson Nur Azlina Arif said this in response to Shafi's speech in the Dewan Rakyat yesterday, where he accused her and 2 others of being induced to defect. In a statement today, Nur Azlina said she left Warisan on her own accord because she did not agree with the inconsistent party direction. She added that Shafi should lodge a report with the MACC if he had proof of the allegations. She also criticized Warisan over its alleged role in the political instability which rocked Sabah in early January. Nur Azlina said she disagreed with creating political polemics because it got in the way of lawmakers' duties to their constituents. On January 6, Sabah BN withdrew support for Haji Noor to serve as chief minister. Warisan was reported to have been involved in the plot as they had cancelled a press conference a day before BN's announcement. Nur Azlina and 2 other state assembly persons quit Warisan on February 6 and pledged allegiance to Hajiji. The police cannot bar the public from lodging a police report. This was the reply from the Home Minister after a woman was refused entry into a police station over her attire. Home Affairs Minister Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said his ministry will not compromise with any police personnel who attempt to bar members of the public from lodging a police report. Saifuddin said this when asked for comments on an incident last month when a person was not allowed to enter the Kajang Police District headquarters to lodge a police report after becoming involved in an accident. Saifuddin said they considered the matter closed and did not agree with the actions of the personnel concerned. However, he added that at the same time, the public should also be aware there is an element in courtesy when conducting official business. In the incident last month, a woman in her 30s had come to lodge a report about an accident but was barred from entering the Kajang District Police Headquarters because she was wearing shorts. According to Kajang OCPD Muhammad Zaid Hassan, she was advised to return with clothing that is more suited for dealings in government premises. He said the woman was unhappy and initially refused to follow instructions and provoked the personnel on duty. She then reportedly left the police station and returned about 15 to 20 minutes later wearing long pants. Zaid's statement contradicted an earlier report by Free Malaysia Today, saying that the woman was wearing Bermudas that covered her knees. Zaid asserted that it was only long enough to cover her thighs.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you would like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Kimilia. Thanks for watching.